Hi everyone! In my last video I presented 15 mini modular buildings that I designed, and I asked you to vote for your favourite design. Thank you to everyone that has voted, and I'd like to announce that the design that has received the most votes so far is my Cube Apartments Mini Modular. I also asked for some feedback regarding any extra information you'd like to see, and the feedback that I received was which software that I use, some common building techniques, and building instructions. I'll show the software that I use and some building techniques in a future video. While in this video, I'll show you the building instructions for my Cube Apartments Mini Modular. I've uploaded the full parts list to rebrickable.com, and I've also uploaded these building instructions to rebrickable.com in the MLCad format. There is a link to my Rebrickable page in the video description. The first thing that you'll notice is that I've changed some of the colours. Unfortunately, one of the key pieces that I use, the arch brick 1x3, part number 4490, is only available in a limited range of colours. I've updated my design to use light bluish grey instead, but you could use any of the available colours that you like. First, let's look at how each of the apartments are built. The left ones are just a little bit different to the right ones, and in my design I've used 3 of each. Of course, you could use more or less apartments and change the height accordingly. To build one of the left hand side apartments, start with 4 of these brackets and join them together with a 2x4 tile. If you wanted to add furniture, this would be a good time to do so. Add a few 1x6 tiles that will become the outside cladding. Add 2 arch bricks 1x3, and then add another 1x6 tile. Attach 2 of these smaller brackets, and insert a 2x4 plate, and then add another 2 brackets. Slide a 1x2 grill piece into the bottom of each of the arch bricks, and add 2 more of the arch bricks to hold them in place. Finally, add some 1x2 tiles. The exposed studs on the side will be used to attach the apartment to the rest of the model. The right hand side apartments are similar, but there are a few changes. Start with 4 of these brackets, and join them together with a 2x4 tile. Add a few 1x6 tiles, and 2 arch bricks 1x3, and then another 1x6 tile. Attach 2 of these smaller brackets, and insert a 2x4 plate, and add another 2 brackets. Slide a 1x2 grill piece into the bottom of each of the arch bricks, and add 2 more arch bricks. Add some tiles, and then finish off by adding a round 2x2 tile with a hole in the middle. This piece is really useful for changing the direction of pieces, and we'll use it to attach the apartment to the rest of the model. The next submodel that we'll build is the left hand side of the pool deck. Start with 4 of these brackets, and join them together with some plates and a tile. Add a 1x6 tile to the outside, and then add 2 arch bricks 1x3. Add some more 1x6 tiles to the outside, and add a bracket to the inside, taking note that the bracket is upside down. Add some clear bricks and plates, add another bracket to the other side, and join them together with a few clear plates on the inside. Add some transparent light blue tiles to create the surface of the water, and notice how the water is just below the level of the deck. Slide a 1x2 transparent light blue tile into each of the arch bricks, and add 2 more arch bricks. Finally, add some tiles and some bricks to finish off this side of the pool deck. The last submodel is the right hand side of the pool deck. Start with a 1x2 plate on its side, and then add a 1x6 plate and a 1x6 brick. Add some more bricks, some of which have studs on the side, and add a 1x6 tile. Insert a minifig ski pole into one of the holes, and add a 1x2 plate. You can rotate this plate slightly to make it look like it's placed naturally. Add a 2x2 dish to the top of the umbrella, a cheese wedge piece and a tile to create a reclined sunbed, and a panel to create the couch. Now that all of the submodels have been built, the main model can be put together. Start with an 8x8 plate, and add some bricks, plates and tiles. Notice that the bricks on the side have Technic pinholes so that this mini modular can be attached to other mini modulars. From here, we continue to build up the layers using more bricks, plates and tiles. I've used some jumper plates to get a half stud offset which allows for more detailed building. Add some more bricks, plates and tiles. Add some 2x2 bricks to form part of the central utility core of the building. Add some windows and a panel at the front. Even though most of the window frame will eventually be hidden, I wanted a nice thin border separating the windows from the glass door in the middle. Add some plates to form the roof. Add an arch brick 1x4 and a few 1x1 bricks and plates. At the moment, these aren't locked in place, but they will be in a few steps. Add some plates to the side and lock them in place with some tiles. Add another arch brick 1x4 and a few 1x1 bricks and plates to the other side. Add some plates and lock them in place with some tiles. On the roof, add some tiles and a reddish brown 2x4 plate to represent a garden bed. Add a variety of plates to represent some plants. Add a bracket and some 2x plates to build up the central utility core. Notice that at the top I've used one of the newer plates that is flat on the bottom. Add some plates and tiles. The apartments on the right hand side will attach to the 2x2 plate with the centre stud, and the tiles below it will stop the apartment from rotating. Attach 3 of the left hand side apartments that we built earlier. Then attach 3 of the right hand side apartments. Attach the left hand side and right hand side of the pool deck. Finally, add some corner panels to represent the top of the elevator. And that completes the model. I've uploaded the full parts list to rebrickable.com, and I've also uploaded these building instructions to rebrickable.com in the MLCad format. There is a link to my Rebrickable page in the video description. If you have any questions or feedback, please leave them in the comments of this video, and be sure to subscribe so that you don't miss my future videos. And as always, thank you for watching.